Uh, did you expect to be here shooting another installment of the After story?
I did, I'm not gonna lie, just because of the success of the first one and how many people were so excited for it. I kind of knew, I mean, of course there was a little bit of doubt, but I pretty much knew, given how loved the first movie was, that we'd be back this summer. So I pretty much went right to planning this one.
The first movie of After was your first time working on a movie. Do you feel more confident now?
Yes, definitely feel a lot more confident. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning every single day, but I try to be as involved and see what's happening behind the scenes as much as possible, so then I can just take more from every time I'm on set. But I definitely have learned a lot this year.
How have Tessa and Hardin evolved from the first plot?
A lot. I mean, we see Tessa becoming a woman, essentially. She has an internship now. She's not hanging out at the campus. She's making new friends in Kimberly and people at her new job. She's just more sure of what she wants. I mean, at the same time, she's not. She goes back and forth, but she's evolved a lot. Hardin has evolved, but he's almost a little bit gone backward, just because we are showing more of the darkness in Hardin this time and the complications that he's had in his life, and we're bringing more of his backstory since this movie is his point of view. So in a way he's regressed a little, but he evolves so much over the course of this one film that they're both changing a lot.
In this new movie there's a new character which is a little bit problematic and it's called Trevor. What can you tell us about him?
I am so happy with the performance and the kind of way Dylan Sprouse has brought Trevor alive. In the book, I don't really love Trevor, even though I made him, but he drives me crazy because he's just always in the way. But in the film, I'm almost rooting for him in a way. Obviously, I love Hardin, but Trevor as Dylan is just, it's so good. He killed it. It was really great.
Did you find some sort of inspiration for your new stories after all what happened with the first After movie?
Yeah, I learned never to write a book about a bunch of tattoos because when you try to film it, it is crazy. I realistically have just thought more in terms of not only keeping the story on the page. So when I'm writing, it's hard to explain without giving specific scenes, but just in a way I'm just thinking from a film point of view as well now, which is really fun and almost like a writing exercise for me, to where I was so used to writing the other way that now I'm thinking more in scenes and how things could be adapted.
Would you like to develop the story of Tessa and Hardin more, or would you like to move on to another things?
Both.
Okay.
Right now I'm so in the middle of Tessa and Hardin from what I did, 5 years ago. So at the moment, I'm so satisfied with this, but I do have a lot of material that I've written just for myself, because I just have random things sometimes where I think of them or think of someone in the story and write it, that eventually I might show the readers, but I also don't want to be that person that just keeps milking the same thing. So I would love to make these films as best as possible and focus on my other books for now, and then if there's another After book in a few years or so, I'm not going to say no now, but I can't promise.
So that was my next question. Do you see After as a film franchise or not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. We killed it in the first one. The second one, the film is significantly different, but in the best way. We've really kind of raised the stakes and just brought an entirely different feel to it. So if they loved the first one, and even the people who didn't love the first one, when you watch this film, I'm so confident in what we've done that I definitely think it's a franchise for sure. And I also think we'd have a lot of angry fans if we just stopped after this film, especially because this one is just so great from both characters.
I don't want you to spoil this new movie, but what can we expect from it different from the book?
Just a couple of the storylines of side characters. It's really hard when you have an ensemble type cast, when there's so many characters. In the book, everyone has such a developed backstory in future and present, but you just can't do that on film because this is, at the end of the day, about Hardin and Tessa. And as much as I love these characters and it killed me to kill them off, essentially, we just can't have that many storylines in a film. And for me, the things that have changed without spoiling anything, is just only to make the story better and to make the best film. Because as much as I know and I love the books, obviously, but I'm also want to make the best film. So anything that didn't make it is just for that purpose of like, this is the best version of the film.